All right then, hello guys. Another day in the off season. Hope you're doing really well today. Nearly a whole week into the off season and everything is feeling fantastic right now. So let's just keep the ball rolling. That is what it's all about. Once you've built a bit of momentum, even if you're someone who's, say, just starting out, if you just get into a consistent routine where even if you, say, can only train a couple times a week, but you hit those 2 sessions every week and you do that consistently for a month, it starts to feel amazing when you realize, oh yeah, I can actually commit to what I'm doing and not just find ways of just not doing the training or making excuses. So having a consistent routine that you can stick to is just so valuable in terms of your confidence with believing that you're able to do something on a consistent basis. So today's video, I wanted to talk about being satisfied with your progress before you've reached your goal, which I know is a strange thing to think about because most people think that I'm only going to be happy once I, say, lose the weight that I want to lose, or I'll only be happy when I've put an extra 2 inches on my bicep, or I'll only be happy when I can squat this much weight. And if you look at your training that way, or your goals that way, where you will only be happy once you achieve something, then you're missing out on being able to actually appreciate the work that you're doing along the way and the progress that you're making. Because let's say, for example, you want to lose 20 kilos, and if you just say to yourself, oh, I'm never going to be happy until I've lost that 20 kilos because that's what I need to lose, but after you lose 15, you already look 95% better than you did at the start, and you don't look back and think, oh, look at how much work I've done already. You're just thinking about, oh, I've still got 5 kilos left to lose, and you feel miserable about that, or you don't appreciate how much effort it's taken you to get to where you are right now. Because the other thing is, there'll always be another goal when you reach the current goal that you're working on. So if I give myself as an example, I've just spent the last 4, 5, 6 months getting shredded for my shows, and now the shows are over and the goal is very different. The goal is now not to maximize fat loss, but it is now to see how much muscle I can put on whilst not getting excessively fat. So if I had literally just waited until I was shredded to be happy, then I would have just spent months and months and months being miserable, because every day I would have said to myself, I'm not happy because I'm not shredded. But especially with bodybuilding, you can only be shredded for a short period of time. It's not something where you look to sustain year round. So I don't want to spend the majority of the year feeling unhappy because I'm not at the goal that I want to be at, because now the goal is completely different. Even if I did wait until I was shredded to say, oh yeah, I'm happy, I can now say I'm happy, but that was only for a very brief moment, And now the goal is completely different. So now I'm so far away from my next goal that if I then adopt that same mentality of I'm not going to be happy until I've built another 5 kilos of muscle, then I'm going to spend a very long time being dissatisfied with the progress and the current physique that I have. So you've really got to break down your goal into smaller chunks and make sure that when you reach each of those smaller milestones that you take time to appreciate the work and the effort that's gone in to getting you 10% of the way, and then 50% of the way, then 75. Then you'll actually have more periods of time where you feel happy about the progress you're making. And when you're more motivated by the progress that you've already made, it then just fuels the drive to push for more of what you're already doing, whether that is trying to get bigger, trying to get stronger, or trying to lose body fat and trying to get leaner. There's plenty of opportunities throughout your journey where you can pat yourself on the back and just tell yourself well done for what you've already managed to accomplish. And another really big thing when it comes to tracking your progress over time is actually taking photos and videos of yourself throughout whatever phase you're going through. Because I know a lot of people, especially if it's a weight loss transformation, they might not be happy with the way that they look right now, and the last thing they want to do is take photos of themselves and sort of analyze their body. But I can assure you, if you are brave enough to do it at the start and then you have those, take them consistently, probably every month along the way, you can look back and see just how much progress you've made over a given time frame. Because if you don't have those original ones, when you look at yourself in the mirror every day, when you're slowly changing, your brain just adapts to the way that you currently look. If you're always just used to looking at yourself and you're slowly losing body fat, you're slowly building muscle, you don't notice those changes, so you're not able to appreciate how much you've actually progressed from your starting point. So taking photos, videos consistently, so important in terms of measuring your progress over time. that's a wrap. Another lower session in the bag. Very happy once again with that. Something I've definitely noticed, even though it's only been a couple more days, is just the longer that you eat at maintenance, the better your recovery is. I know I mentioned this in a previous video, but it's night and day. If I was to go back into a deficit now, I would literally be able to feel the difference almost immediately. You come into each session and the weights just continue to feel easier, and adding reps, putting a bit more load on the bar, on the machine, it's just so easy. When I was deep into the end of prep, I tell you, the weights every session would either feel heavier or reps would just start dropping here and there, and no matter how much you would fight it, that would only make the situation worse. So it is very, very nice to see the progression just from literally eating at maintenance. We're not even at the point of pushing food into a significant amount of the surplus yet. So when that does happen, I'll be very interested to see how much more progress we can make, see if it will even speed up the rate of progress. There's something else I've definitely noticed, apart from the fact that it's lovely and sunny, is training aggression. I definitely think towards the end of a long diet, you lose that fire and, as I say, the aggression when you're training, and I think that's a big part of why everything just starts to feel heavier, and you might lose a rep here and there because you just don't quite have that same level of drive that you really want to get that next rep. And if it's 50-50 and you haven't quite got the energy at the end of a diet, then a lot of the times you just sometimes won't go for it. Whereas now that I've got more food coming in, I'm far more likely to push for those extra reps or put a little bit more load on the bar and just really get after it. So really, really happy with the session, and now it's time to head home and it's time for the post-workout meal. Right then, we are back home and it is time for the feast, and I bet you can already tell what it's going to be. If you've watched a couple of videos so far, you know. That's right, you guessed it. The absolute beauty, the Ninja Creamy. Absolute perfection. Made with the clear ISO, pineapple and coconut flavour. This is by far my favourite flavour of the clear ISOs that Trained by JP makes. If you want to pick it up for yourself, you can use my code TIM10, save yourself some money. Absolutely fantastic. And then alongside that, cream of rice as usual with blueberries, which gives it that lovely colour when you cook it all together. And got some kidney beans in there as well. Again, told you hunger is still high, so until food goes up, we're going to keep these in, keep the hunger in check, and wait until more food will be on the horizon. But right now, let's get this down. Time to eat. And there we have it, another day ticked off, and it is frightening how quickly it gets dark. That is the worst part about the winter by a mile, is it just gets dark far too early. It just feels as if the day is just over so soon. But can't complain. Back inside, do some steps. Nothing wrong with that. Keep out of the cold. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. We are nearly 1 week into the off season. Plenty more progress to come. I look forward to bringing you along for the entire journey. Take care, guys. Catch you in the next video.